Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second video in the series showing how to implement OSPF on Juniper devices. I'm going to try to keep this video, short and sweet. It's going to be basic configuration of interfaces and loopbacks. We're also going to do basic configuration of system parameters like root authentication. We're going to try and keep it to 10 minutes maximum, and if there's going to be any spillover, we're going to make a third video for that. So without wasting too much time, guys, let's go into JUNOS 1 right here. So JUNOS 1 is, it's fresh. There's no configuration whatsoever on the box, and we're gonna do the first thing first, which is to configure root authentication. So the default password will be root. In many of the Juniper equipment you'll find out there, we're using version 10. And it takes us to the the Unix shell. We don't want to waste too much time here. This is not what we're concerned with, so we're going to just type in CLI. That's the command that takes us into the operation mode. Now the operation mode is just good for checking system configuration and parameters. We really can't do much. I say that with a grain of salt. We can actually run some operations here, but it's extremely limited. So what we want to do is go into the configuration mode. You can either use the edit command, or you can use, for most of you Cisco guys out there, the configure command. So go into the configuration mode. Let's use the edit in this example. And there we are. Now we're in the configuration mode. And like I said, the first thing we need to check, the first thing we need to configure is root authentication. Why? Because you really can't save any changes. You really can't commit any change if root authentication is not set up on a new box. Let's do a show configuration just to get familiar with the landscape. Show, actually I have to do a run show because we're in edit mode. Run show configuration is what I want to do. And as you can see, guys, there's really nothing on the box. And again, you gotta configure the root authentication. So that's what we're gonna do first. So let's do set system, or no, not set system. I don't want to go into that. Let's go into system configuration mode, edit system, and let's do a set root authentication. We're going to do plain text password, hit enter, and we're going to give it a simple but functional password. It's got to be at least 6 characters, otherwise the system is not going to take it. So that's been configured, and now let's, while we're still under the edit system mode, how about we set up a host name. Set host name JUNOS 1. Okay, so we've been able to set up root authentication. We've been able to set up the host name. Let's go ahead and save this for now. It's gonna take a little time because I'm using an older and slower emulator for this video series, but functional again. It's good enough for now. Okay, so root authentication has been set. The host name has been set. Let's now go ahead to configure the loopback interface. We'll configure interface E1 with this IP address. We're going to configure interface E2 with this IP address. Now, quick note from the first video, something has changed. It was all /31 on the first video. During my checks after the video, I realized that the version of the operating system, of this operating system, is not able to support /31 for point-to-point WAN IP addresses, so I went behind the scenes to modify them to /30 for you. Okay, let's jump into JUNOS 1 and configure E1 as 10.10.10.1 /30 and E2 as 10.10.10/5. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave this up just so we can see what we're trying to configure here. I hope this works. Okay. This a little bit. Perfect. Okay, let's exit from the system mode and let's go into the interface configuration mode, and that we can do by issuing the edit interfaces. Notice I can do a command completion by tapping the space bar or the tab on your keyboard. So edit interfaces, I'm interested in EM1 unit 0, and I'll set family INET address is what I'm interested in, and that will be 10.10.10.1/30. So 10.10.10.1/30. Let's bring this back here just so you can have a nice central command window going there for you. Okay, you hit enter. Now the fact that we hit enter does not mean it's gonna you know, be in operation. Matter of fact, if we did a show compare, it's just showing us that, yeah, this is the candidate config we're gonna put into the configuration. By the time you hit commit, it's not going to be used until you issue the commit keyword. So we're going to commit this configuration by doing commit, and doing that, you know, makes it not the, you know, a candidate config anymore, but more or less your running configuration. So if you do a show, for instance, you see that this interface has now been appropriately configured with 10.10.10.1. And just to verify, do a run show interface terrace. You see indeed that EM1, the Ethernet interface 1, has been configured with 10.10.10.1. Let's configure the loopback address. I mean the loopback interface. Right now we can see it's not been configured. Let's exit out of this first, and let's do the edit interfaces. Loopback 0. You can either do unit 0 or just do a .0. It's one and the same. Alright, then we'll set the family INET, and the address again was, I believe, 1.1.1.1. Perfect. 1.1.1.1/32. Perfect. Ooh, I left out the address keyword there. Set family INET address, and the command should take now. Perfect. Let's commit this. And okay, so this has been configured. This has been configured. We're gonna configure this one right here. So it's been configured. But before we go ahead, let's verify. Let's do a run show interfaces terrace, and we have indeed configured this as 1.1.1.1, but I can't see /32. Looks like we missed that out, didn't we? 1.1.1. Well, interesting. I thought there was supposed to be a /32 right behind it. So let's do a show. See if we did indeed configure that /32, so we should be good, guys. We should be good. So I went behind the scenes to configure JUNOS 2, at least this interface on JUNOS 2. So how about we test reachability to JUNOS 2 by issuing a ping command and setting the destination address as 10.10.10.2. Okay, so we're gonna exit out of here. Let's go back into operational mode and ping 10.10.10.2. Let's do a count of 5. So we're sending just 5 ping packets to and to the box we're trying to test, and we can see that we've got reachability to that box. You can do a ping rapid as well, just to look, you know, ping rapid, I believe, just to look similar to what we see on the Cisco box, and that's how you get that going for you. So it looks like we have basic connectivity now between JUNOS 1 and JUNOS 2, and we've been able to set up the loopback interface on this device. Now, I promised to make this video short. Let's take a break at this point. When we come back, we're going to set up the remaining interfaces and establish basic connectivity between all the boxes, and then in another video we're going to establish OSPF. I hope this has been useful for you guys, and I'd love to have you around for the next video. Thank you, and chat with you soon. Bye.